The morning sun poured golden light through the lace curtains of Miss Edna's kitchen. The smell of fresh cornbread baking in the oven wrapped around the room like a warm blanket. Outside, the neighborhood was just waking up. The distant rumble of garbage trucks, a baby crying next door, birds squabbling over breadcrumbs on the porch. Miss Edna, 75 years young, sat at her little round kitchen table, humming an old Mahalia Jackson tune, stirring her tea with slow, thoughtful circles. Life hadn't been easy, but mornings like this, they were her reward. She wore her favorite house dress, bright yellow with giant sunflowers, and pink slippers that had seen better days. On her table sat a cracked photo frame, her late husband, Charles, smiling wide and proud in his military uniform. Edna touched it gently, a daily ritual, before lifting her cup for a sip. Just then, the phone rang. The screen showed a number she didn't recognize. Her gut, that wise, well-seasoned gut, tensed slightly. Still, Miss Edna answered, because in her house, fear didn't rule. Never had, never would. "Good morning, ma'am," a silky voice oozed through the line. "Congratulations! You've just won our Grand Platinum Prize." Miss Edna blinked. She set her cup down with a soft clink. "A prize, you say?" You don't say?" "Oh, yes, ma'am. All you need to do is verify some information, and we'll wire your winnings today." The voice was smooth, too smooth. A practiced kind of charm that had probably tricked dozens of people before, but not today, not in this kitchen. Miss Edna leaned back in her chair, one eyebrow raised so high it could have touched heaven. "Well, ain't that something?" she said sweetly. "I didn't even remember entering no contest. How blessed am I?" "Oh, it's very common, ma'am," the scammer said quickly. "Sometimes you get entered automatically when you shop online. Now, could you please confirm your full name, date of birth, and bank details?" He was pushing now, gently, the way a wolf nudges a sheep toward a cliff. Miss Edna made a show of fumbling through her purse. "Now hold your horses, baby," she drawled. "My eyes ain't what they used to be. Give me a second to find my bankin' papers." The scammer chuckled. He thought he was winning. Outside, a dog barked sharply. Inside, Miss Edna smiled. The trap was being set. "Take your time, ma'am," Mr. Smooth Talker said, voice syrupy. Miss Edna rustled papers loudly. In reality, she was flipping through an old church bulletin. "You want my routing number too? Maybe my blood type while we at it?" The scammer laughed again, forced this time. He sensed something was slightly off, but he was too greedy to back off now. "Just the basics, ma'am," Miss Edna sighed dramatically. "You know, Sweet Pea, I've been around the block a few times, back when a scammer had to actually put in work. Letters, disguises, the whole 9 yards." The scammer faltered, unsure if she was serious. "I remember when a hustler tried to sell me beachfront property in Kansas," she chuckled. "Told him I'd need a surfboard and a tornado shelter." The scammer pushed again, voice tight now. "Ma'am, please, we just need your—" "Shh," Miss Edna said, her tone suddenly dropping to a velvet threat. "You ever dance with the devil and forget your shoes, baby?" The scammer stammered, thrown off. She leaned in, voice low and deliberate. "I survived Jim Crow. Marched in 1965 with shoes so thin the rocks kissed my feet. You think a little old phone scam gone shake me?" Silence. "Do you know who you're messin' with?" she whispered, like a prayer or a warning. More silence. The scammer's breathing was now the only sound on the line. Miss Edna smiled wide, wider than Christmas morning. "Now," she said sweetly, "while I got you on the line, how about I ask you a few questions?" The scammer tried to interrupt, but it was too late. "You like scamming grandmas, huh?" she asked, tapping her fingers on the table rhythmically. "That pay good, baby? Or is it just for the thrill of it?" The scammer made a noise, somewhere between a cough and a choke. "You ever think about your own mama?" Miss Edna asked, voice sharp as broken glass. "You ever wonder how she'd feel knowing her boy out here preying on old women, just trying to drink they tea in peace?" The scammer mumbled something unintelligible. "And what you gonna do when karma catch up with you, sugar? When you old and gray and some young fool tricks you out of your pennies? 'Cause trust me, what goes around," she clapped her hands once, loud, "comes roaring back. I'm just doing my job, the scammer muttered weakly, finally breaking character. Miss Edna's laugh rang out, rich and triumphant. Job, honey? Selling lies ain't a job. It's a confession. The scammer breathed heavy now, flustered, lost. Miss Edna, the undefeated champion of sass, wasn't done. Now you listen here, child. Next time you think about stealing from somebody's grandma, you better pray you don't call me, 'cause I don't just fight back, I dance on defeat. With that, she hung up. The kitchen, filled a moment ago with tension, now glowed with victorious laughter. Miss Edna sat back down, feeling the old wood of the chair creak under her. She sipped her now cold tea, savoring the bitterness and the sweetness in equal measure. Outside, the world spun on. Birds singing, tires screeching, life happening. But inside, in that humble kitchen, a battle had been fought. And won. And not just against one scammer. Against decades of being underestimated. Decades of being overlooked. Talked down to. Side-eyed. Judged. They thought her age made her weak. They thought her skin made her slow. They thought wrong. Miss Edna leaned forward and whispered toward the photo of Charles on the table. Still got it, baby. In a world that constantly tries to label, diminish, and scam us, being wise is revolutionary. Miss Edna's generation didn't just survive hardship, they outsmarted it. They didn't just endure prejudice, they outwitted it. And every time one of them stands tall, or smiles wide, or turns the tables on someone who tried to take advantage, it's not just a personal victory. It's a collective one. It's black excellence, bold, brilliant, and unshakable. Miss Edna's story is a reminder. Strength isn't just about muscle. Wisdom isn't just about books. Victory isn't just about beating the enemy. It's about laughing in their face while you do it. And that kind of strength, it's timeless. So next time you doubt yourself, remember Miss Edna. Remember the bright yellow dress, the sharp mind, and the fearless laughter. You come from survivors. You come from excellence. If Miss Edna's story made you laugh, made you proud, or made you feel just a little bit stronger today, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more true stories of Black resilience, excellence, and unstoppable spirit. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that wisdom, sass, and strength never go out of style. And remember, sometimes the loudest victory is a soft chuckle after a fool hangs up the phone.